Town Chairman Leo Zipper, and you are watching Sevastopol TV, the video voice of Door County.
You never flushed a toilet for 364 days. I don't know if anybody can realize what it is to never flush a toilet. You could almost say we live pretty close to nature. And then there was the Monday mornings. Every Monday morning, they gave us what they called it a malaria pill. It was to keep us from getting malaria with all the mosquitoes over there. And it was the best animal you could ever get.
But we want to show you what is so different about this house. To the ordinary guy driving by, he said, look, looks like an old house, old log house. And it's true, it is. But there are some features in this house which are different. And it's our aim, as far as the Door County Historical Society, to redo this house as Mr. Hanson left it in probably 1875, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. And that is quite a job, because we're going to have to move back the clock probably 100 years to find the place where we want to begin in the restoration.
To help the Door County Historical Society prepare a restoration plan for potential granting to eventually restore the building for educational purposes.
Hello, this is Dennis Conley, your Den at the Door, and I'm having the delightful afternoon of being with Mr. Ralph Smith, also known as Smitty, here at the Lily Bay sawmill. So the kind of wood that you mill here, what species do you work with?
The biggest one is cedar. That's the one we have the most call for. And for decks and porches and a lot of outside work. Rough looking, but on the other hand is a good heating unit.
Well, you and I are a little rough looking, but we still work pretty well. Ralph, I saw these other beautiful rectangles, and you have piles of these around. What are these for?
These are for my crates.
Okay.
I make half bushel and bushel crates, and they go all over the United States.
Most of the stone, when it was first opened, was used to reconstruct Chicago and Peshtigo after the fire. One of the statistics I found was that when they started working here, the people got paid $1 a day. $1 a day, now just think of that. And in 1893, John Latham and Thomas Smith took over the quarry, and it was the largest one in the state.
We stopped in Belgium it was a little village, and went in the house, and their houses, the butcher shop was attached to the house. I was 21, and I'm 92.
So
21 back then.
21. You were born in 1919?
Yeah. We almost lived in, we did. We lived in that damn tank.
That was your house?
Sure.
Sure. Do you remember how many people were in that tank destroyer?
Sure. Driver, assistant driver. I was the gunner, and I had assistant to put the shells in. They were not big.
Sure.
Not that long. AP and HE.
The church was constructed by volunteer labor, and the head construction engineer was the pastor at the time, who was Merlin Gehring. He was my predecessor up at Egg Harbor. And his father was in construction, and Merlin flew airplanes. He went to seminary, became a pastor, and he never forgot how to build.
And it was a really nasty firefight. I can remember that we took a lot of injuries, including the company commander was hit. The medevac choppers would not even come in, even though we had critically wounded that needed more advanced care than the medics with our company could provide. The commanding general of the infantry brigade, 199th Infantry Brigade, ordered his helicopter in to take out the wounded. And I can recollect that we were in this clearing with woods behind us, behind us, and the VC or the NBA were about 200 yards that way. And the helicopter came in and landed right between us while we were still exchanging gunfire. And in fact, at one point, one of our machine gunners advanced and was standing right beside the helicopter, firing through the open doors of the VC.
I first met the newly minted lawyer from Harvard, Mr. John Adams, when I was but 15 years old. Mr. Adams had come to my father's farm on some legal business. Apparently, Mr. Adams was not much impressed with Miss Abigail Smith. He told my parents he could never have any affection for someone who was so bold, so frank, so outspoken. He was more interested in my sister Mary.
Well, I feel challenged. Life is, well, we walk around in this skeleton, and the real person is inside. The real person is who you're stuck with. I just can't be. I think myself now a non-entity. I just can't be non, but I can't do it anymore. My body won't work. The poetry part of me was my hands, and I don't have it anymore.
Hälsa dem där hemma, hälsa far och mor, hälsa gröna hagen, hälsa gamla mor. Om jag hade vingar flyger jag med dig, myllret flyg mot hemmet, hälsa ifrån mig.
Well, I always thought it was kind of strange that this tree was here, so close to the line fence. Can't hardly get through it. But I come to find out later, there was a reason why this tree was left. Many years ago, this corner of the property was owned by the diocese in Green Bay. And the reason I know that is because I owned the property one time, and they were the owners back in the late 1800s. Here's the marker here. Simon infants. Edgus and Franz. And someone still remembers. Still the flowers are here. It was kind of interesting because the land that's right on this side of the line fence belonged to a man by the name of Simon. Now there's a stone here remembering the kids. Yet he had to make a promise that he would never cut the trees down. Now that the stones are here, it certainly will be remembered and saved.
This is Mike Madden, and you are watching Sevastopol TV, the video voice of Door County.
And to follow up the porcupine discussion and its habitat and activities, we have a historical victim of a porcupine attack right with us today. And her name again is?
Samantha.
Now, Samantha, very slowly so everybody can know, can you tell us more about your encounter with the porcupine?
I was young, about 4 or 5 years old, and my mom did not notice. I was walking along the street with someone, and saw a porcupine. I was messing around with it, and two quills got stuck in my arm here, and I got stitches. So there's still stitch marks right here and here. So.
Well, that made you a wiser person, right? So you don't mess with porcupines anymore.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Many students don't know what this is anymore. I think many people who lived in Door County used these in their youth. This is a cherry pail and the buckle you wore around your waist. So that's an antique.
All right. So Scott's right now is going to help me make the foot. He's gathering some glass that we're going to wrap on the end here, and then we're going to squeeze this using a wooden tool into a foot. And that's another old European technique for making a foot. This is nice if you want to make a lot of goblets in a hurry. So the key is that this part is cool enough so I can handle it. I can actually work with it without it moving around. Okay. Yeah. You had to say that. Came around. Yeah? Believe it or not.
If I catch a big one, and if I can keep 'em, I'm gonna bring 'em home tonight. I'm going fishing with Dad. I'm going fishing with Dad. I'm going fishing with Dad. I'm going fishing. I'm fishing with Dad.
We're now here at the heart of the system, or I guess what I might term the stomach of the system, because this is where we get all the digestion going on. The treatment part of the wastewater treatment system. And in this case, what we're looking at here behind us are what they call stabilization ponds, sometimes also called treatment lagoons, sometimes called facultative ponds. And this is where the treatment occurs. We've previously been looking at the collection system, different parts of the collection system. We had some force mains that we talked about, some gravity-fed collection system in town. We have some lift stations that we saw.
Who knows what let's see, someone who has had a chance. Who has had a chance? What kind of duck is this? Joey, over here.
Is it?
Pardon?
Is it? Yeah, that's it. Mallard?
No, it's not. No. What kind of a duck is it? Does the duck mallard have a white breast or kind of a white neck?
Interview the Jornses in a Door County institution, the Jorn Sugar Bush. The star of our show today, though, is going to be the maple tree. The sugar maple is very important historically in Door County and northeastern Wisconsin and the Midwest and Canada for the product that the Native Americans taught us about, maple sugar and maple syrup. I'd like to introduce Roy Jorns. He is someone who has more experience than anyone else I know in making the maple products that we all enjoy. Roy, what do we have here?
Well, we have an aluminum bucket with a cover on, and I believe it's got a 5/16 spout, which is something new.
Buzz was at the open house for the salmon stripping facility here in Kewaunee.
And these salmon in particular need 3 conditions to happen in the river. They need river water to be very cold, very clear, and very highly oxygenated. And if they don't have highly oxygenated, cold, and clear water, their eggs will not hatch.
It was bought from property that was owned by Adolph Cherney. That's why it's referred to as Cherney Maryville Caves County Park. We've done a lot of work modifying the rocks for a pathway through the cave so you don't have to climb. And this is very unusual in Wisconsin cave to see a natural pillar, and that's it. We got cavers here that are working, trying to pump water out. They're working on an underground dam. Straight ahead, we don't know. And to the right, where Mike Madden is, that's where it'll be the rest of the loop, a walking loop all the way around.
And what a beautiful example of flowstone. And what is this fragile called here again, Gary? This is
where we undermined it by removing the clay so we could have walking passage here.
And when you discovered this passageway, the mud was up to here?
Correct.
Hi, this is Bob Desch, Director of the Door County Maritime Museum, and you are watching Sevastopol TV, the video voice of Door County.
He's ready and wet. We're ready up here, Hillary.
Nice, great conversation. 50 years ago, there were lots and lots of orchard chapters here in Door County. Guys, one of the actual founding members of the club at the farm. International 815. Terry, what year is that again? 1917. Beautiful, beautiful case team. I appreciate you bringing it up.
Up to Memphis, a young boy in my prime. I thought that big old city could ease my Georgia mind. But after just 1 hour, I met this southern girl. She said, "You call me the queen of Memphis." Then she took me around the world. And I saw stars dancing on the water. I heard Elvis singing Blue Suede Shoes. That old muddy river was my witness. The night I fell in love with Queen of Memphis. I woke up the next morning, prisoner of her charm. Showed me things I've never seen back there on that farm. See, they let my soul on fire. She revealed all my dreams. Boy became a man that night in the arms of a Memphis queen. And I saw stars dancing on the water. I heard Elvis singing Blue Suede Shoes. That old muddy river was my witness. Night I fell in love with Queen of Memphis. I
We're here with Ken Bernschein today, and we are representing our Sevastopol PEG channel. And of interest today is the stone wall that was built here by Ken.
In the old Methodist church on the east side, and
it was called the Cheeseman Lunch, and he just found an old press release from
I found it right
back
up here to explain that. Before it was the lumberjack supper, they had a gathering, a meal called the Cheeseman's Lunch, and of all people, one of the creators was a guy named Frank Cheeseman.
I am thinking about the 8,860 feet of solid rock above me, over 1.5 miles of earth. When we came down the engineering shaft 1 mile down into the earth, my ears popped 29 times. We've been crawling along these rocky tunnels and down old wooden steps just to get into the depths of this mine. Now, when I look off at the rock right here in front of me, it has this glistening, greasy, shiny look. It's a quartzite. It has gold in it. And the zone we're working in and we're looking at is only about 3 or 4 feet high, so we can never stand up.
July 1st, we started.
This is Liv Miller, and you are watching Sevastopol PEG TV, the video voice of Door County.
And this is La Baronessa. This is the largest boat that was built, has ever been built in Sturgeon Bay as a yacht. It's the largest yacht built or was for a time in the United States since the 1930s.
I'm Mike Platt. I'm the cook on the Nina. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Nina. I want you to grab a spot on the rail, gather around. I'm going to bang my gums for about 25 minutes here talking about ship captain and crew.
The first full year of operation in 1882 showed that 415 ships passed through the canal. 10 years later, that number increased nearly tenfold to 3,949. During the early years of the canal, a tow charge was levied on the ships that passed through. Local tug owners provided towing services for the ships using the canal, and competition was keen, as whoever got to the ship first got the job.
across the sea. She waits for me when she is sleeping. She dreams of me, and when I return, I'll give all my love to her and send her tears away. I sail the sea, I sing a song. The wind is whispering, it won't be long. Maybe it's the day I'll come home to her and stay across the sea where she waits for me. Her voice calls out to me.
First light, moving up. Close number 1. Go. I cannot believe boat number 2. Boat number 3, go! Boat number 4!
This is Heather Spetz, and you're watching Sevastopol TV, the video voice of Door County.
I can't complain, all I want, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't help if I tried to explain. Instead of coffee, I wish I had a water. 'cause to the rest of the world it's just a pea stain.
Hit that jive jack, put it in the pocket till I get back. Going downtown, see a man and ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that jive jack, put it in the pocket till I get back. Time and time waits for no man and ain't got time to shake your hand.
Oh, I'm working on a railroad, $1 a day. Working on a railroad down in Sturgeon Bay. Working on a railroad, child, $1 a day. Get my money, get my pay.
For a minute and you'll see he knows too much, like how to dissect a mammalian. He seems at odds with our culture, he's rebellion. He's far too stern, my mom thinks he's Episcopalian, but I have my suspicions that our teacher is an alien.
Only the lonely know the way I feel tonight. Only the lonely know this feeling ain't right. There goes my baby, there goes my heart. They're gone forever, so far apart.
Water is wide, I cannot cross over. Neither have I the wings to fly. Give me a boat that can carry and both shall row, my love and
First the shaking and then the thunder. I guess it all just slipped right under. Goodbye, California. The Lord is trouble, making his mind up. He giveth, he taketh. Well, that's the way things wind up. Goodbye, California.
never
it begins to tell. Round midnight, I do very well till after sundown. Supper time, I'm feeling sad, but it really gets bad round midnight.
Now if you would just forgive me, I know my pain would ease. But if you won't, darling, at least just find my keys. Go check again in the car. You could do a sweep through the yard. Well, you said that you don't love me, but could you help me, honey, please? Oh, my Lord, my darlings, find my keys.
Crazy, I am crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy, crazy for feeling so blue.
Steel yourself for the coming storm. Steel yourself, 'cause it won't be long. Well, steel yourself in the things you do. Well, steel yourself, you might get through.
I love the Packers. I love the Packers. I love those Packers up there in Green Bay. Well, I'm a Packer fan from Memphis town. It's hard to watch the Packers from way down in Memphis, where I make my scene, 'cause nobody cares for the gold and green. On Sunday, I'm always in a bind. On TV, the Titans are all I find, except for maybe a Cowboys loss or commercials for barbecue sauce.
I've got a cupola, it's got a deck. We could open all the sliding glass doors, sleep out on the walkway underneath the stars. And in the morning I would be with you. Cupola, 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 low. Cupola, 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 low.
The hardest job I ever done was baptizing that big old bear.
I see it, cheese curds, you can't beat 'em. I love the way they clump together so. I love how they get squeaky when you eat 'em, and how down your gullet with the beer they go. Between bay mussels and pickled eggs, there's plenty things that suit me. But if I had to give up beer, you may as well just shoot me. Cows are overrated, all they give is milk and butter. But I'd be out there squeezing them if beer come from their udder. Cheese, curds, booyah, and beer. That's what I like to hear.
Melikilikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. That's the island greeting that we send to you.
river. Her hair shone like gold in hot morning sun. She took all the love that a poor boy could give her and left me to die like a fox on the run. Like a fox on the run.
So long, I'm leaving. This is the last time we'll meet on the street going your way. Don't look surprised, you know your birds are bred, so it's not fair you should stare at the back of my head. If you write a letter to me, my mom ran, don't you anywhere that RSVP.
In the morning when I rise, the cloud warriors race across the skies. The earth is golden as the sun sighs high, and the stars seem invisible, but I feel them there. Star people, star people,
I'll be your water, and I will give you shelter. I'll be your water, and I will be there for you. I'll be your ship out on the ocean, and I'll be your water in the desert sand.
Where my temperature's rising and my feet on the floor. 20 people knocking 'cause they want some more. Let me in, baby, 'cause I don't know what you've got, but you better take it easy 'cause this place is so hot. 'Cause I'm so glad we made it. So glad we made it. You gotta give me some loving. Give me some loving. Give me some loving. Give me some loving. Give me some loving.
This is Brian Kelsey, Managing Director of Peninsula Players, and you're watching Sevastopol TV, the video voice of Door County.
It was probably one of the most popular places in Door County. As you can see by the rocks, it's certainly ancient, carved out by the glacier 10,000 years ago or longer. We take it for granted, but it's one of the greatest resources we have in America is our abundance of fresh water. You can imagine the thrill of the first sailors that came down these lakes and looked at this shoreline. And to think there was this part of the world that had not been discovered, and what an opportunity it was for them, with abundance of food, abundance of wood, and very few people. They encouraged development that's almost unbelievable. In 200 years, a little better than 200 years of human history, we were able to carve this country out of wilderness and make it into the most powerful nation in the world. It was only because of dedication and hard work. Not much of it had to do with luck. let's hope we have enough courage to support, to continue to support these areas so generations in the future can look at them and marvel as we are marveling today.